Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And as I said, I will be bringing you the Twitter files, which would be part 2. It seems that there's quite a bit of interesting stuff going on, so let's get directly into the actual video in itself to kind of go over this. Now, this shouldn't take too terribly long. It's a bit shorter than the last one, but still pretty good. Thread, the Twitter files, part 2, Twitter's secret blacklist. A new Twitter files investigation reveals that teams of Twitter employees build blacklists, prevent disfavored tweets from trending, and actively limit the visibility of entire accounts or even trending topics, all in secret without informing users. Which I think a lot of us already knew about this. It just so happened to be that we didn't have much proof to say, but we knew this was happening, this was a conspiracy, and this is all coming to light. So it's not really too terribly surprising, it's just being confirmed now. Twitter once had a mission to give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly, without barriers. Along the way, barriers nevertheless were erected. Take for example, Stanford's Dr. J. I don't know that last name. I don't know how to pronounce that. We're just going to call him Jay, who argued that COVID lockdowns would harm children. Twitter secretly placed him on a trends blacklist, which prevented his tweets from trending. So here we have it. So we have all this stuff: recent abuse strike, trends blacklist, and strike count. So Or consider the popular right-wing talk show host Dan Bongino, who at one point was slapped with a search blacklist. So we have notification spike, search blacklist, Twitter blue verified, multiple accounts, strikes count 0, NSW view, and SBMA, and all this other stuff. So seems like it's all being true. We had Twitter set the account of conservative activist Charlie Kirk to do not amplify. We have, with this being here, saying verified, active, recent abuse, strike, notification spike, multiple accounts, strike count 0, do not amplify, and not for safe for view, and other. It looks like we have the things in the boxes that are in yellow are the ones that are being used as that's what's been applied to him from the looks of it. So everything that is in yellow is what's been applied to these accounts. Twitter denied that it does such things in 2018. Twitter's vijaya gadde, then head of the legal policy and trust, and Kevin Beckpour, head of product, said we do not shadow ban, they added, and we certainly don't shadow ban based on political viewpoints or ideology. What many people call shadow banning, Twitter executives and employees call visibility filtering, or VF. Multiple high-level sources confirmed its meaning. Think about visibility filtering as being a way for us to suppress what people see to different levels. It's a very powerful tool, as one senior Twitter employee told us. So we were 100% correct about the shadow banning people. It just seems that that when they were saying, oh, the shadow banning, we're not using shadow banning, well, they're correct. They're not using shadow banning. They're using something else that is called visibility filtering, which is the same exact thing. It's just, it's not called shadow banning. So, I mean, come on. VF refers to Twitter's control over visibility. It used VF to block searches of individual users, to limit the scope of a particular tweet's discoverability, to block select users' posts from ever appearing on the trending page, and from inclusion in hashtag searches, all without users' knowledge. We control visibility quite a bit, and we control the amplification of your content quite a bit, and normal people do not know how much we do, one Twitter engineer told us. 2 additional Twitter employees confirmed. The group that decided whether to limit the reach of certain users was the Strategic Response Team, Global Escalation Team, or SRT, get it, often handled up to 200 cases a day. But there existed a level beyond official ticketing and beyond the rank and file moderators following the company's policy on paper. That is the site integrity policy escalation support known as SIP spies. The secret group included head of legal policy and trust vijaya gadde, the global head of trustee safety, Yeon Roth, subsequent CEOs Jack Dorsey and Parag Agrawal, and others. This is where the biggest, most politically sensitive decisions got made. Think high follower account, controversial, another account employee told us. For these, there would be no ticket or anything. One of the accounts that rose to the level of the scrutiny was Libs of TikTok, an account that was on the Trends blacklist and was designated as do not take action on user without consulting with SIP spies. Now, as we see here, ladies and gentlemen, that, as I said before, the yellow boxes indicates was active on the account. It goes. It says here on big red letters here that do not take action on user without consulting with SIPs or SIPs or whatever the hell you want to call it. Notification spike, Trends blacklist, and recent abuse strike. The account, which Chaya Ratchek began in November 2020 and now boasts over 1.4 million followers, was subjected to 6 suspensions in 2022 alone. Ratchek says each time Ratchek was blocked from posting for as long as a week. Twitter repeatedly informed Ratchek that she had been suspended for violating Twitter's policy against hateful conduct. But in an infernal SIPS memo from October 2022, after her 7th suspension, the committee acknowledged that the LTT has not directly engaged in behavior violative of the hateful conduct policy. See here, which LTT stands for Libs of TikTok, by the way. So this, which seems to be obvious. But it goes on to say, I will blow this up for you guys, don't worry. Site policy recommends placing Libs of TikTok 1.3 million followers, not verified, in a 7-day timeout at the account level, meaning not for a specific tweet. Based on the account's continued pattern of indirectly violating Twitter's hateful conduct policy by tweeting content that either leads to or tends to incite harassment against individuals and institutions that support LGBTQ communities. At this time, site policy has not found explicitly violative tweets, which would result in a permanent suspension of the account. This type of enforcement action, repeated 7-day timeouts at the account level, will not lead to permanent suspension. However, should Libs of TikTok engage in any other direct tweet level violations of any site policies, What? We will remove forward with a permanent suspension. Assessment. Since its most recent timeout, while Libs of TikTok has not directly engaged in behavior violative of the hateful conduct policy, the user has continued targeting individual allied supporters of the LGBTQ+ community for alleged misconduct, the targeting of at least one of these institutions. Goes on to say from Barry Weiss, the committee justified her suspensions internally by claiming her posts encouraged online harassment of hospitals and medical providers by insinuating that gender-affirming healthcare is equivalent to child abuse or grooming. Compare this to what happened with Ratchek herself, was doxxed on November 2022. A photo of her home with her address was posted in a tweet that has garnered more than 10,000 likes. When Ratchek told Twitter that her address had been disseminated, she says Twitter support responded with this message, reviewed the reported content and didn't find it to be a violation of the Twitter rules. No action was taken. The doxing tweet is still up. Says, hello, thanks for reaching out. We reviewed the reported content and we didn't find it to be a violation of Twitter rules. In this case, no action will be taken at this time. If you have further concerns about intellectual property, your privacy, or your personal safety, the following guidelines can be of assistance. In an internal Slack of messages, Twitter employees spoke of using technicalities to restrict the visibility of tweets and subjects. Here's Yeon Roth, Twitter's then global head of trustee and safety, in a direct message to a colleague in 2021. A lot of times, this is for Yeon Roth, by the way, a lot of times SI has used technicality spam enforcements as a way to solve a problem created by safety under enforcing their policies, which, again, isn't a problem per se, but it keeps us from addressing the root cause of the issue, which is that our safety policies need some attention. 6 days later, in a direct message with an employee on the Health, Misinformation, Privacy, and Identity Research team, Roth requested more research to support expanding non-removal policy interventions like disabling engagements and dissimplification visibility filtering. This is from Yeon Roth again. One of the biggest areas I'd love research support on is which is response, non-removal policy interventions like disabling engagements and the amplification visibility filtering. The hypothesis underlying much of what we've implemented is that if exposure to, e.g., misinformation directly causes harm, we should use remediations that reduce exposure. And limiting the spread variety of content is a good way to do that by just reducing prevalence overall. We got Jack on board with implementing the civic for integrity in the near term, but we're going to need to make a more robust case to get this into our repertoire of policy recommendations, especially for other policy domains, so I'd love researchers' POV on that. So this is just a recap of pretty much what it was already said. There's more coming onto this story, which was reported by all the people mentioned there, obviously, and the team, the Free Press, Gable, the Unfinished Seer, and our Brown's website. The authors have broad and expanding access to Twitter files. The only condition we agreed to was that the material would be published on Twitter. We're just getting started on our reporting. Documents cannot tell the whole story here. A big thank you to everyone who has spoken to us so far. If you're a current or former Twitter employee, we'd love to hear that from you. Please write to tips blah 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 blah. Watch my tablet for the next installment. So, yeah, we'll go over here and see if he has anything else. So, nothing else as of right now. So, we'll wait and see exactly when the next installment happens. This will be from Tad Beebe, probably later today or sometime this week. So, I'll keep you guys posted on that. The Twitter files are getting interesting, folks, and we're going to see a lot more coming. Can't wait to see it. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, take care, ladies and gentlemen.